My internet is so slow and my ISP is absolutely terrible. But before you rush out and blame your service provider, in a lot of cases, it is actually your own home network that is the problem. So how do you know if you are the problem? Or how do you know if your ISP is actually to blame? Well, before you pick up the phone and dial customer service, do not worry because I have got you covered. Let me show you exactly how to troubleshoot your own network. Welcome to TechVibes, where we make technology simple. If you are into phones, gadgets, apps, and networking tips, be sure to stick around. Let us get into today's show. Before we begin, let us just be clear about one important thing. You are not going to get more speed than what you actually pay for. If I am paying for 100 megabits per second, I should be getting as close to 100 megabits as possible. If you are paying for 5 megabits per second, you should be getting as close to 5 megabits per second as possible. You should not be getting 1 megabit or anything below your tier. I firmly believe we should all be getting exactly what we are paying for. So before we jump down their throats, let us just clean up our own house to make sure our gear is not the issue. Let us begin there and let me show you what I am looking for. In my case, I have separate units for the modem and the router. The modem comes straight from my ISP. The first thing I want to make sure of is that I have a power light on, and I have an internet or online light illuminated. Both of those indicator lights need to be on. If I am not getting the online light, it means the modem is not getting data from the service provider. This is exactly where your troubleshooting starts. Switch this device off for 5 full minutes. Why 5 minutes? Let me explain why this time is critical. Because that allows the equipment to power down completely. Then your service provider is going to stop trying to reconnect, which means you are going to get a nice fresh connection when it boots back up. Now that you have done that and your online light is stable, the next step is to look at your router. On your router, you are looking for the dedicated internet light, and that should be turned on. If this light is not on, it means the router is not receiving information from the modem. Therefore, what you are going to do is go around to the back and look for the port labeled Internet. You follow this cable back through to your modem and make sure that the local area network cable is actually nice and secure. You will probably find that the cable is super old, maybe one of those original standard cables. You want to get a Cat 6 or a Cat 7 cable and connect it between the modem and the router to give you the best base speed. Once you have done that, your internet light should be on. If your internet light is still not on, you might want to perform a hard factory reset on your router. This gives it another opportunity to search for that fresh internet connection. Once you have established that base internet connection, we are ready to move on to the next step, which takes place on the computer. Let us go ahead and jump in. Right on your Windows computer, head down to the search bar and type CMD, which stands for the command prompt. You will see a little box pop up at the top, so click on that to open up your command prompt window. In this command prompt, the first thing we are going to do is type the phrase ipconfig. That simple command will show me if I am connected or not connected to my local network. In this particular case, you can see I have no connectivity whatsoever. So what do I do to fix this? I right-click on my network connection icon at the bottom of the screen and choose Troubleshoot Problems. This opens the built-in Windows wizard, which is going to try and help resolve any common issues. It usually gives you a suggestion, and you can either apply that fix or skip to the next one. Another good thing to try is to right-click on your network properties at the bottom, choose the Settings menu, and then select Change Adapter options. Go ahead and click on that button now. Now you will see a screen that displays your available adapters depending on how many you have connecting to your network. Typically, you will see an Ethernet adapter and a Wi-Fi adapter. What you do is double-click on the Ethernet one and navigate to Internet Protocol version 4. Double-click on that option and make sure everything is set to automatic. I will do the exact same process for TCP/IP version 6 just to ensure everything is being fed automatically. Unless you have a very specific reason, like a dedicated tech person telling you to stick to a static IP address, just set it to automatic. I recommend doing that for each adapter you actively use. So again, double-click on the adapter, find the IPv4 and IPv6 settings, double-click on them, look at your properties, and verify everything is set to automatic. Alright, now let us go back to our command prompt window. Type ipconfig once again and let us see if I am connected or not. Under my Ethernet section, I am still not connected, but that is perfectly fine. Under my Wi-Fi section, you can see I am now connected. I have been given an IP address directly from my router. Here's the default gateway, which is essentially the IP address of the router itself, so I finally have solid connectivity. Now make a note of the IP address for your gateway. You will need it for this next specific command. Type the word ping, add a space, and then type the IP address of your own gateway. Do not just copy mine because yours is likely going to be different. What am I looking for here? I am looking for 0% packet loss, which means I have a nice, clear, fast connection between my computer and the router itself. If your packet loss is very high, something is seriously wrong, probably with your computer network card. Next up in your command prompt, type ping followed by a space and then google.com. Essentially, what you are looking for is a standard response back. Getting a response back from google.com means that your domain name system, or DNS, has actually been translated correctly. The address for google.com actually gets translated into a specific numerical IP address behind the scenes. If you are not getting that response, well, perhaps your DNS configuration is wrong. Let us go directly into your router settings. Remember that IP address of your router that we found earlier. Mine happens to be 192.168.1.1. I type that into a browser, I log in, and what I am looking for is the specific section on my router, which handles internet setup and connectivity. It should generally be set to automatic. Perhaps yours is set to static, and perhaps you have a very specific DNS entered in there. Try a different one, like DNS 8.8.8.8 to see if that helps. For this example, I am going to leave everything on automatic. While we are still inside the router settings, let us double check that I have enabled both the 2.4 GHz and the 5 GHz networks. You want to make sure both frequencies are enabled if your hardware supports them. The reason for this is that 2.4 GHz is excellent for a bigger property because it covers a longer distance. The 5 GHz band is better for shorter distances, but it gives you a significantly faster overall speed. I like to connect to the fast speed when I am close enough to my router. If I am far away, I am going to experiment and try connecting to the other one. But if your network card cannot see a 5 GHz network at all, perhaps it is just not compatible. In that case, you might need to swap out your hardware. Okay, moving right along, we know we have reliable connectivity now. Let us test exactly how slow or fast it actually is in practice. Open a web browser and navigate to speedtest.net. I am going to run a very quick speed test on my network to see what results I am going to get. Now we are looking carefully at the upload speed, the download speed, and the ping. I can see my download speed is hitting around 130 megabits. My upload is hovering at 11 megabits, and I know my plan is capped at that specific rate. Let us go ahead and change the connection from wireless to a hardwired setup. There went, now I am connected with an Ethernet cable, and I am going to see if that makes a real difference to the final speed. Let us click go and fast forward through this new speed test. Instantly, you can see that it is already hitting 230 on the download, which is a massive improvement. So what happens if your speed is still much less than what you are actually paying your ISP for? Well, before you call your service provider, let us run the exact same speed test. But this time, let us run it directly on our mobile phone. What we are trying to do here is eliminate the variables to see whether it is a computer hardware problem, a home network issue, or truly the fault of the service provider. As you can see, I am getting the exact same speed on my phone as I did on my desktop. If I was paying for a 500 megabit download plan, I would definitely be calling my service provider right now. I am honestly still surprised that people do not update their antivirus software regularly. You need to make sure that it is constantly fetching the latest virus definition updates. Things like hidden malware, being part of a malicious bot network, or being caught in a background crypto mining scheme will dramatically slow down your entire network. Make sure your system is constantly being updated. Then, every once in a while, run a manual deep scan. It will take some time to finish, but it is well worth the effort to keep your speeds up. So after trying all these troubleshooting tips, if you are still not getting the internet speed that you are paying for, now is the time to pick up the phone. You are officially armed with the correct information. Call your service provider and politely demand to get that issue looked into immediately. Let me know what you guys think about these troubleshooting steps in the comments below. If this video helped you fix your connection, please leave a like. Do not forget to subscribe to TechVibes for more networking guides and technology tutorials. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.